Hello and welcome back to a C# guide. In this chapter we're going to be covering variables. This will have many different sections because there's many different types of variables, well, different topics in variables we can cover. But to start this one off, we're just going to type, we're going to start, I'm not clicked in here, we're going to start a multi-line comment, and we're going to start this off by saying variables. I'm going to put this all in multi-line comments because it's just easier for you to read and not have to understand what I'm saying. Variables reserve memory locations and space for values that you want. That is the most common explanation you will get, but I don't think it's the easiest to learn or easiest to understand. The easiest way I can think about it is it will store information as your game is running. So say I had the previous, I'm going to have an example where I want to store my name. So if I wanted to store my name is Callum, I then create a variable which can store my name, and it will reserve a spot within the memory and the space needed for my name, and it will store it there so I can then recall it later if I want it. And that is probably the easiest explanation I can give you for variables. You may be confused when I'm talking about memory as a whole. When I'm talking about memory, I'm talking about bits and bytes. So I'm going to go up the list. A lot of people don't actually recognize bytes nowadays, but you will recognize some of the terms when I get further down the list. So bits is the smallest allocation of memory. So 8 bits is 1 byte. 1024 bytes is a kilobyte. 1024 kilobytes is a megabyte. There is a pattern here. Each time it goes up by 1024. So next on the list is gigabyte, then there's terabyte, and then there's petabyte or petabyte. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Never use that word in conversation. You don't see many computers that take that sort of memory. The largest ones you'll see will be terabytes. Now you've got those conversions down. I'm talking about data types here. Data types is what determines that memory space. So when we create a variable, we need to determine the data type. We also need to determine the identifier, and then we need to equal a value. But this isn't as important to do, and I'll explain why later. So when I was talking about data types before, let's actually start a new multi-line comment here. When I was talking about data types before, I was talking about that memory allocation. So there is different types of data types, and each one has a specific amount of memory it needs. There's many different types of data types, but the ones that you will want to know of is called built-in value types, and this is 4 types. It's bool, char, integral, numeric types, and floating point numeric types. Sorry, my keyboard is loud, mechanical keyboard, kind of got a little bit. But these are the main types, or these are the built-in value types. There is also built-in reference types, but I'm going to cover them in a later topic because they are very convoluted. And their memory allocation and things like that are quite dynamic depending on the reference. Now we have these 4 types. Each of these take up a different amount of memory. So, for example, bool is sometimes referred to as a boolean. This takes up the lowest amount of memory, which is 1 bit. A char, or sometimes referred to as a character, takes up 16 bits. Or, as you learned before, this is sometimes referred to as 2 bytes. Next up is integral numeric types and floating point numeric types. There are many different versions of these. Just know these take up many bytes, and floating point numeric types take up many more bytes. Each of these are going to be covered in their own topic within this chapter, so go and check these out. There'll be basic information, and it'll be all cool tips and trips and things like that, things that you don't commonly see on those types of videos. So hopefully that is data types all secure and understandable. If you are ever struggling to understand something, do put a comment and I will explain it the best I can to you individually. Because I understand that as an education point, like not everything can be understood by everyone. It's just not how brains work. So yeah, make sure you do leave a comment if you don't understand something and I will get back to you as soon as possible. But anyway, next up we're going to talk about identifiers. So let's put an identifier in here. An identifier is just the name of the information you want to store. So let's put that name of information you want to store. And that is it, simple enough. It can start with any character or an underscore. So yeah, and that's simple enough. The only other thing you need to know about an identifier is you can't name something the same as a keyword used. Say I wanted a variable to know whether I'm using something. I then want to name my variable using, but that won't be allowed. What I can do is use an underscore, or a lot of the time an ampersand is used. This is an ampersand. By the way, this is an underscore. Just realised you may not know what an underscore is. That is an underscore, and this is an ampersand. Yeah, just use one of them if you want to use a keyword, and then you should be able to use it as a variable. There are certain types of naming conventions that are used, but I will cover them when we get into those further in a topic. Next up is value. So values are very simple. That's just, the value of my information. So say I have an information. Let's say I want to store the first letter of my name, which is C. So I want this char because it's a character. The C is a character. So it's char. First letter of my name is the identifier, and the value then is C because that is the value I want to actually store. So I'm going to put in value there. Value. Oh, there we go. And that's all you need to know. Actually, no, that's not all you need to know. Every type of value type has a default value. So you actually don't need this. For example, you can just put your data type and identifier. But most of the time, you're going to want to put in your value, just so you know what it actually is. It makes it easier for you to actually know, because you've defined it. But do know, if you don't do that, there will be a default for every single type, and I'll cover them in their own videos. Anyway, I hope everything is understandable here. This is just the beginning of this chapter, so it's a little quick video. Do ask if anything needs to be clarified. I am going to go through all the data types next, so I will see you guys then.